Bill Owen as Compo Semonite William John Owen Robotham, better known as Bill Owen, was born on March 14, 1914 in Acton Green, London. When he was 59 years old, he rose to television fame as Compo Semonite in the long-running comedy Last of the Summer Wine, starting in 1973. Compo, the scruffy, cheeky old man constantly trying to impress Nora Batty and getting dragged into wild schemes by his friends, became a character so beloved that it defined Bill's career for 26 years, making him a symbol of the world's longest-running sitcom. Owen's life had seen its share of physical and emotional scars. During World War II, he served in the Royal Army Ordnance Corps and was badly injured in a training explosion, an injury that left lasting effects. After the war, he dedicated himself to the arts, working tirelessly in film, Carry On, Oh Lucky Man, theater, and musical productions. A talented songwriter, he penned the hit Mary Ann and contributed to well-known stage musicals. But the spotlight of his musical achievements soon faded in comparison to the towering shadow of Compo, a character so deeply loved that it eclipsed the rest of his artistic legacy. In his personal life, Owen married and had a small family, but the marriage did not bring lasting happiness. His passion for performing kept him distant from those closest to him, and in the end, it was his only son, Tom Owen, who would follow in his father's footsteps in Last of the Summer Wine, who became his greatest pride and comfort in later years. Strong-willed both on-screen and off, Owen was deeply engaged in politics. A committed socialist, he supported the Labour Party, chaired Arts for Labour, and advocated for causes like Keep Sunday Special. His outspokenness sometimes sparked controversy, including heated clashes with co-star Michael Bates, ideological tensions that nearly fractured the show's cast. The greatest tragedy came at the end of his life. While filming a special Millennium episode in France, Owen fell seriously ill but insisted on finishing his scenes. Upon returning to England, he was diagnosed with advanced pancreatic and bowel cancer. Despite intense pain, he stayed with the show until the very end, a display of resilience that deeply moved his colleagues and fans. On July 12, 1999, Bill Owen passed away in London at the age of 85. At the time of his death, his net worth was estimated at around $2 million, earned through decades of dedication to acting and contributions to music. Joe Gladwin as Wally Batty. Joseph Gladwin was born on January 26, 1906, in Ordsall, Salford, England. When he was 69 years old, he endeared himself to audiences as Wally Batty, the long-suffering yet lovable husband of Nora Batty, with a passion for racing pigeons. In Last of the Summer Wine, starting in 1975, with his resigned gaze and understated charm, Wally provided viewers with moments of both humor and heart over more than a decade. Before achieving fame, Gladwin's life was shaped by struggle. He worked a variety of jobs to make ends meet, from pharmacy delivery driver to performing in entertainment units for the troops during World War II. Financial hardship was a constant companion until he gained recognition in Coronation Street and later in Nearest and Dearest. However, the role of Wally Batty confined him in the public eye as the timid, henpecked husband, even though his acting skills far exceeded that narrow image. In his personal life, Gladwin enjoyed a strong and enduring marriage to Lillian Wynne, whom he wed in 1933. Beyond acting, he was admired for his charitable work and was honored as a Knight of St. Gregory, K.S.G., for his contributions to the community. In his final years, Gladwin battled bronchial cancer, which severely weakened him and led to complications from pneumonia. On March 11, 1987, he passed away at Greater Manchester Hospital at the age of 81. His net worth at the time was estimated at around $800,000, reflecting a lifetime of dedication to stage and screen. Thora Hird was born on May 28, 1911, in Morecambe, Lancashire, England. When she was 75 years old, she won the hearts of television audiences as Edie Pegden, the sharp-tongued yet humorous wife of Wesley, in Last of the Summer Wine, starting in 1987-1986. With her distinctive voice, natural style, and brilliant comic timing, Edie became an iconic character who brought fresh energy to the series during its later years. Before finding lasting fame, Heard worked in a local co-op shop and lived through the hardships of World War II and the difficult post-war period. She began acting as a child in theaters managed by her father, gradually proving her talent across countless film and television roles. She became a national treasure, leaving her mark in series such as Meet the Wife and Loving Memory, Hallelujah, and BAFTA-winning performances in Talking Heads and Lost for Words. Heard's personal life was defined by her steadfast, 57-year marriage to musician James Scott, who remained by her side until his passing in 1994. She was the mother of actress Jeanette Scott, and for a time, mother-in-law to jazz singer Mel Torme. Guided by deep Christian faith, Heard famously turned down roles that conflicted with her values, choices that sometimes sparked debate but reflected her unwavering principles. In her final years, Heard battled heart disease, severe arthritis, and underwent several hip replacement surgeries, which left her reliant on a wheelchair at work. Despite her declining health, she continued to give everything to her craft until the very end. Thora Heard passed away on March 15, 2003, at the age of 91 following a stroke, concluding a career that spanned more than 70 remarkable years. At her death, her net worth was estimated at around $2 million, the result of a lifetime of dedication to the arts and community. Frank Thornton as Herbert Truly, True Love. Frank Thornton Ball was born on January 15, 1921, in Dulwich, London, England. When he was 76 years old, he became a late addition to the core cast of Last of the Summer Wine, playing Herbert Truly, True Love, from 1997 onward. As the dignified, unflappable retired policeman, Truly brought fresh humor and balance to the show's beloved trio during its later years. Thornton's life was marked by perseverance through adversity. During World War II, he served in the Royal Air Force, facing danger in the skies over Europe. After the war, he struggled for years to establish himself in acting, working small parts on stage, radio, and television, before rising to fame as Captain Peacock in Are You Being Served? Joining Last of the Summer Wine, he felt the pressure of filling the shoes of earlier iconic characters like Compo and Foggy, and he spoke of the sadness he felt as colleagues passed away one by one. In his personal life, Thornton enjoyed a warm and enduring marriage to actress Beryl Evans. They wed in 1945 and remained devoted to each other for nearly 70 years, raising a daughter named Jane. Frank Thornton passed away peacefully in his sleep at his home in Barnes, London, on March 16, 2013, at the age of 92. At the time of his death, his net worth was estimated at around $2.5 million, a testament to a long and dedicated career in two of Britain's most cherished sitcoms, Are You Being Served? And Last of the Summer Wine. Kathy Staff as Nora Batty. Kathy Staff was born on July 12, 1928, in England. When she was 45 years old, she became a household name playing Nora Batty in Last of the Summer Wine, starting in 1973. Nora, the grumpy housewife with wrinkled stockings and trusty broom, was the bane of Compo's existence and an irreplaceable icon of the long-running comedy. Kathy's life, like her character, was shaped by memorable highs and quiet struggles. She began performing in 1946 with touring theater companies under the stage name Catherine Brandt. After marrying John Staff in 1951, she stepped back from the spotlight to care for her family. It was John's steadfast support that allowed Kathy to return to acting in the 1960s, first in minor roles before gradually earning recognition. Beyond Nora Batty, Kathy appeared in popular shows like Coronation Street, Open All Hours, Crossroads, and The Dresser. On stage, she shone in roles such as Lady Bracknell, Madame Arcady, and Mrs. Malaprop, delighting audiences. Yet the very success of Nora Batty became a kind of invisible burden. Kathy admitted in her memoirs that she sometimes felt confined by the character's overwhelming popularity. In 2008, tragedy struck. Early that year, Kathy was diagnosed with a brain tumor and her health declined rapidly. Despite her suffering, she remained at peace and passed away in the arms of her devoted husband John on December 13, 2008, at the age of 80. At the time of her passing, her net worth was estimated at around $1.5 million. earned through more than half a century of devoted acting. Robert Fyfe as Howard Sibshaw. Robert Douglas Fyfe was born on September 25, 1930, in Kirkcaldy, Scotland. When he was 60 years old, he became known to millions as Howard Sibshaw, the timid husband constantly scheming to secretly meet Marina in Last of the Summer Wine, starting in 1985. With his expressive face and a performance that was both endearing and funny, Fyfe made Howard one of the show's most beloved characters. Before achieving fame, Fyfe studied English literature at the University of Edinburgh, but left to pursue acting, graduating from Northern Theatre School in 1954. He worked tirelessly across small theatres in Halifax, York, and Scarborough, and built a steady career with supporting roles in films like Extro, The 51st State, and Cloud Atlas, as well as series like Coronation Street and Monarch of the Glen. But his portrayal of Howard became so iconic that it typecast him, limiting his chance to show his full range as an actor. In his personal life, Fyfe shared a long, happy marriage with theater director Diana Rush from 1957 until her death in August 2021. Together they raised 3 sons, Timothy, Nicholas, and Dominic, who were his greatest pride. In his later years, Fyfe faced declining health due to kidney disease. He passed away on September 15, 2021, just 10 days shy of his 91st birthday, after a career spanning more than half a century. At the time of his passing, his net worth was estimated at about $1 million, the result of decades of dedicated work on stage and screen. John Comer as Sid. John Comer was born on March 1, 1924, in Stretford, Lancashire, England. When he was 49 years old, he became a familiar face to audiences as Sid, the kind-hearted, humorous cafe owner in Last of the Summer Wine. Starting in 1973, with his easygoing charm and natural wit, Sid became an essential part of the show's early magic, bringing warmth and laughter to viewers for over a decade. Before he found lasting success, Comer spent many years working hard in supporting roles and performing in variety acts. With his brother as the Comer brothers, they entertained in social clubs and pubs, gradually building a name through talent competitions. After his brother left show business, Comer persisted, slowly earning recognition in Coronation Street, Emmerdale Farm, and films like I'm All Right Jack, A Taste of Honey, and The Family Way. In his personal life, Comer found stability with his wife, Molly, who stood by him through life's challenges. But his heavy smoking took a grave toll, leading to throat cancer that robbed him of his voice. By his final television appearance in the Christmas special Getting Sam Home, his lines had to be dubbed by another actor. John Comer passed away on February 11, 1984, at the age of 59, leaving behind a legacy of humor and heart that deeply touched fans and colleagues alike. At his passing, his net worth was estimated at around $600,000, built through years of dedication to the craft of acting on stage and screen. Thora Hird as Edie Pegden. Brian Wilde as Walter Foggy Dewhurst. Brian George Wilde was born on June 13, 1927, in Ashton-under-Lyne, Lancashire, England. When he was 49 years old, he became beloved by television audiences as Walter Foggy Dewhurst, the self-assured yet often bumbling ex-soldier in Last of the Summer Wine. Beginning in 1976, with his tall frame and signature mournful expression, Foggy delivered endless laughter and became one of the show's most memorable characters. Wilde's life was filled with its share of ups and downs. During World War II, he served in the Royal Air Force, and upon returning home he struggled to build his career, taking small roles on stage, radio, and film. His portrayal of Mr. Barrowclaw in Porridge earned him notice, but it was Foggy that catapulted him to lasting fame. Yet the role also brought heavy pressure, from constant comparisons to other iconic characters to the frustration of being typecast as the bumbling veteran. Wilde left the show twice, citing dissatisfaction with the scripts and tensions with production, demonstrating his principled and uncompromising nature. In his personal life, Wilde was a private man. He married and built a warm family life, and one of his greatest joys was seeing his son, Andrew Wilde, follow in his footsteps by working as a film editor on Last of the Summer Wine, helping to carry on his father's legacy. Tragedy struck in early 2008 when Wilde suffered a fall at his home in Ware, Hertfordshire. His health never recovered, and on March 20th, 2008, he passed away peacefully in his sleep at the age of 80. At the time of his death, his net worth was estimated at around $1.8 million, earned through a dedicated career in television that left an indelible mark with Foggy and Mr. Barrowclough. Jane Freeman is Ivy Jane Freeman, born Shirley Ann Pithers on June 12, 1935, in Brentford, Middlesex, England, began winning the hearts of viewers when she was 38 years old, playing Ivy, the strict but kind-hearted cafe owner, in Last of the Summer Wine from its first season in 1973 until its finale in 2010. Her performance made Ivy an essential part of the sitcom's charm for nearly 4 decades. Freeman's life, like her characters, was not without hardship. When she was just 9 years old, her father died in an accident, leaving a lasting void in her childhood. She and her mother moved to Merthyr Tydfil, where she grew up and nurtured her passion for acting. After graduating from Cardiff College of Music and Drama in 1955, she worked tirelessly in theater before finding her way to television. In 1971, Freeman married director Michael Simpson, whom she met at Birmingham Rep Theatre. Their marriage was strong and steady, but Freeman often felt overshadowed by Ivy, the character that defined her career. She admitted in interviews that she sometimes felt trapped by the role, even as it brought her enduring affection from fans. The loss of close colleagues like Bill Owen, Kathy Staff, and John Comer dealt heavy blows, and she spoke openly about the sorrow these losses caused. In her later years, Freeman battled lung cancer. Despite the pain and decline in her health, she remained dignified and grateful for the career she had built. Jane Freeman passed away on March 9, 2017, at the age of 81, bringing to a close a remarkable artistic journey. At the time of her passing, her net worth was estimated at about $1 million, earned through decades of dedication to Last of the Summer Wine and the stage. Juliet Kaplan is Pearl Sibshaw. Marlene Juliet Kaplan was born on October 2, 1939, in Bournemouth, England. When she was 46 years old, she became a fan favorite as Pearl Sibshaw, the sharp, watchful wife always keeping tabs on Howard in Last of the Summer Wine. Beginning in 1985, with her piercing gaze, crisp delivery, and subtle humor, Kaplan turned Pearl into a character that audiences would never forget. Kaplan's early life was filled with change. Born into a Jewish family, with a sailor father and nurse mother, she spent part of her childhood in South Africa and later in New York, before returning to Bournemouth. These diverse experiences shaped her keen eye for detail and emotional depth, qualities she brought to every role. As a teenager, she fell in love with acting through evening drama classes at the Hampshire School of Drama, setting the stage for her career. Kaplan's path to success was not easy. Transitioning from theater to television, she worked hard in small roles in shows like Doctors, Brookside, EastEnders, and London's Burning. It was the role of Pearl that finally brought her national recognition. Pearl became the quintessential sitcom wife, earning Kaplan both adoration and the frustration of being typecast, which limited her chance to explore other kinds of roles. Beyond Last of the Summer Wine, Kaplan took Pearl to the stage in one-woman shows and appeared in pantomime as the Wicked Queen in Snow White, 2008-2009. She also made a memorable appearance in Coronation Street, 2015, as Agnes Tinker. In her personal life, Kaplan married Harold Hoser in 1958, and they shared over 2 decades together until his passing in 1981. They had 3 children, Mark, Perina, and Tanya, who were the center of her world. In her later years, Kaplan battled cancer, linked in part to a lifelong smoking habit that began at age 14. She passed away at her home in Westgate-on-Sea, Kent, on October 10, 2019, just 8 days after her 80th birthday. At her passing, her net worth was estimated at around $900,000, earned through over 60 years of dedication to stage and screen. Peter Sallis as Norman Clegg. Peter John Sallis was born on February 1, 1921, in Twickenham, Middlesex, England. When he was 52 years old, he became a familiar face to television audiences as Norman Clegg in Last of the Summer Wine, beginning in 1973. Clegg The calm, philosophical man who served as the voice of reason in the central trio became one of the most enduring characters in the show's history. With 295 episodes, Salas was the only actor to appear in every single one, making him the living symbol of the world's longest-running sitcom. Salas's life was not without its challenges. During World War II, he joined the Royal Air Force, but was unable to become a pilot due to a serum albumin disorder. Instead, he served as a radio mechanic, and the dangers of wartime shaped his quiet resilience. After the war, Salas first worked in banking before following his true passion for the arts, dedicating himself to the stage, film, and television. In his personal life, Salas married actress Elaine Usher in 1957. Their relationship was turbulent, marked by separations and reconciliations before they divorced in 1965. However, they remained close, living together until 1999 and maintaining a deep bond until Usher's death in 2014. They had one son, Crispian Salas, and Peter cherished his grandchildren. In later years, Salas battled macular degeneration, eventually losing nearly all of his eyesight, which limited him to studio work and gradually led him to retire from the screen. On June 2, 2017, Peter Salas passed away peacefully in his sleep at Denville Hall, care home in London, at the age of 96. He was laid to rest beside his friend, Bill Owen, at St. John's Parish Church Cemetery in Homeforth, the spiritual home of Last of the Summer Wine. At the time of his passing, his net worth was estimated at around $3 million, the fruit of a lifelong devotion to his craft. Jean Ferguson as Marina. Jean Ferguson was born on December 30th, 1944, in Woolley, near Wakefield, England. When she was 41 years old, she captured viewers' hearts as Marina, the flirty, blonde, short-skirted, thick-lashed woman who kept Howard under her spell in Last of the Summer Wine. Beginning in 1985, with charm, wit, and her own distinctive style, Jean's Marina brought a burst of energy and freshness to the long-running sitcom. Jean's childhood was marked by frequent moves between Yorkshire and Dumfriesshire before her family settled in Bridgend, Glamorgan, in 1956. Even at school, she showed a natural talent for acting, joining the Bridgend Castle Players amateur group. Determined to pursue her passion, she graduated from the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama in 1965, laying the foundation for a career on stage and screen. Before Marina made her a household name, Jean struggled through minor parts in Crossroads, All Creatures Great and Small, Coronation Street, and local theater productions. She battled insecurities about playing a sexy character in middle age, worried that people judged her appearance more than her talent. After Last of the Summer Wine, Marina's fame ironically limited her opportunities, as the character's shadow loomed large over her career. In her personal life, Jean enjoyed nearly 3 happy decades with partner Paul Jenkinson until his passing in 2011. She later moved from Yorkshire to London in 2014 to be closer to friends and colleagues. After Paul's death, Jean's health and spirit gradually declined. On November 14, 2019, she passed away at home in London at the age of 74, just a month after the death of her dear co-star Juliet Kaplan. At her passing, her net worth was estimated at about $700,000, earned through a lifetime of dedication to theater and television.